Are you looking to create an instant garden, but you don't have time or the resources to build an expensive wood or concrete raised bed? I've got a solution for you I want to share with you today, and that is this right here. It's called the Big Bag Bed. This is a 50-inch circular raised bed, 12-inch walls, holds 100 gallons for a total of 13.5 square feet of growing area. That's enough room to grow several different varieties of plants and get growing immediately. So I decided this spot right here would be perfect to put a raised bed in. So I'm going to clear this space. What I'm doing is pruning back my artichoke plants. I grow artichokes not just for the beautiful flowers and the wonderful edible globes, but I also grow them as a living mulch and as a way to protect around my younger fruit trees. As you can see here, I've got artichoke growing all around the base of this white nectarine tree, and this is helping to shade out the lower portion of the tree trunk, protecting it from fluctuations in weather. So rather than painting the trunks of my trees, I grow living crops that beautify the garden, provide food, and also a ton of chop and drop mulch to help to build up the soil. All right, so now that we have a nice area cleared for the bed, let me show you how quick this goes up. Now what I could do is take some of my artichoke leaves, my chop and drop material, and put that in the bed first as a bottom layer. It's going to help me to prop up the side walls so I can fill it with garden soil. Now you can forego this step of adding in some plant material towards the bottom of your bed if you don't have access to any, or you just want to go with straight soil. But this material is going to break down extremely fast, adding to the soil profile, the soil tilth, and it's also going to occupy a little bit of space up front so I can use a little bit less bagged potting mix. So it took 7 bags of potting mix to fill up this bed. It's more expensive to fill the bed with soil than it is the actual bed itself, which is why if you can start creating soil at home, create your own compost, and utilize the hugelkultur technique that I shared with you in the beginning, where you add in other plant materials before you add in your potting mix, you're going to save a lot of money. With that being said, anytime you purchase a raised bed or you purchase store-bought soil, it's an investment. This is such a nice large growing area that we can easily recoup the cost of the raised bed, of the soil, in one season, and we should be able to get several growing seasons out of this raised bed. Now, some of the benefits associated with growing in these fabric smart pots are, number one, it heats up the soil earlier in the season. So if you get planting out early spring and the weather's still cold outside, the soil will heat up a bit because of the black fabric, which also helps to regulate the heat in the summertime because it's a breathable fabric. And because the fabric is breathable, it creates aeration for your plants growing inside so that they can breathe and release some of that heat in the summertime. And these pots also provide natural air pruning of the roots of your crops. So if you have a plant with a vigorous root system, rather than the roots binding up, twirling all around the inside of your pot, it's going to actually hit the edge of the fabric and prune itself, so you can eliminate having root-bound plants. These pots also provide adequate drainage as well as hold in the proper amount of moisture. And a raised bed garden this size, about 4 feet across, is perfect because you can easily reach to the center of the bed from either side of the bed. That way you can easily reach all the different crops growing in here. If it were any wider, you'd have a hard time getting to the center of the bed. And if you want to offer your bed a little bit more protection from perhaps roaming chickens or some of the wildlife in the area, you can put up a piece of wire fencing. A 2-foot high piece of fencing or chicken wire will work perfectly for this situation. This will also allow you to drape over the top shade cloth or row cover or even greenhouse plastic you could use to encase this bed early in the season. So if you want to see what I end up planting out in my instant raised bed here, you're going to want to stay tuned. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. New uploads every week, sometimes every day, and I'm always giving you updates on all the different things growing on around here. So with that, I want to thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a good one. Until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.